Most people probably would know Kenny from the John Mellencamp records, where he would come in with an acoustic guitar and a riff, and you'd provide some sort of a beat that actually was the hook for the song. May I say that?
Basically my job was to make his records get on the radio and be #1. He never said it that way, but that was my job, and I did. I was actually successful. The Jack&Diane was actually off the record. It was not on the album. We didn't know what to do with it, and then I programmed the drum machine, and then I came up with that drum solo in fear of losing my job, actually.
Yeah.
I thought I'd been replaced on the record before, so, and next thing you know, it's #1.
Here we are inside your Uncle Joe's garage, outfitted by California Car Cover. Very special guest today, Kenny Aronoff, known as the finest drummer in the world. I like that.
I know, he gave me that title, I'll take it.
Yeah, you know, Kenny drums. Sunday night you were drumming with Earth, Wind, and Fire, weren't you?
I didn't play with Earth, Wind, and Fire, but I was the house drummer with Don as the MD for this huge Grammy event honoring legends of music. So. I was playing everything from big band, Ruth Brown, music to, the Highwaymen stuff with Chris Christopherson, and then I was doing, we were doing walk-on music that was, love and happiness, every style of music I was playing. Zydeco, I was playing Zydeco music.
This is what you do, though. Your calling is to play every kind of music there is.
I used to get teased for wanting to do that, and now, 800 years later, I get called to do it. I mean, you know what? Sometimes in life, you have to just be that running back. Don't pay attention to anybody or anything. Just focus on getting touchdown. And next thing you know, you're the #1 running back in football.
I love the way that works out too. Most people probably would know Kenny from the John Mellencamp records, where he would come in with an acoustic guitar and a riff, and you'd provide some sort of a beat that actually was the hook for the song. May I say that?
Basically my job was to make his records get on the radio and be #1. He never said it that way, but that was my job, and I did. I was actually successful. The Jack&Diane was actually off the record. It was not on the album. We didn't know what to do with it, and then I programmed the drum machine, and then I came up with that drum solo in fear of losing my job, actually.
Yeah.
I thought I'd been replaced on the record before, so, and next thing you know, it's #1, and it's like, it went from like, who's Kenny to like, who's Kenny?
Yeah.
And then I was like, holy
Springsteen's talking to you about how you got the sound on the snare. Let's just touch on a couple people. We mentioned Mellencamp here. You've worked with how many hundreds?
Hundreds.
Hundreds and hundreds.
It's like everything from, just thinking of the Kennedy Center Arms, it'd be Sting, Chris Cornell, Dave Grohl many times,
You've done a couple of the...
Elton John, Rod Stewart, B.B. King, your Smashing Pumpkins, Tony Iommi, Santana, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars, Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson, Waylon Jennings, I'm jumping genres, Alice Cooper, Kid Rock,
and you worked on a regular basis with John Fogerty.
Oh, John Fogerty, 20 years. Melissa Etheridge toured with for 10 years. Joe Cocker for 10 years. John Mellencamp, obviously. Jefferson Airplane, they were honored last night. Did their, not Starship, but the Airplane.
The original
89.
Airplane.
89. It's just ongoing.
So you've worked with hundreds of artists. You're on thousands of songs.
Right.
There was one summer where you were 8 of the top 10 songs of the summer you were drumming on, like that.
Yeah.
Have you ever run into an artist that's a particular pain in the neck?
Absolutely. I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you.
What is your favorite song all of the things you've worked on? You got a song that you've...
that I've recorded?
Yeah.
That I played?
Well, okay, now that sounds like there's a
recording,
difference.
I can think of like I did this super group with Tony Iommi from Sabbath and Glenn Hughes, and we were going to be a trio, but Sharon Osbourne put Black Sabbath back together, so we kind of got dwarfed. But I loved recording with them because I like the heavy stuff, believe it or not, the most. But as far as like... I can't pick one song. I'll tell you what, one song you saw me play, I love playing Rock and Roll and Black Dog together, which is Zeppelin. I love that combo. That's phenomenal.
Out of all the people that you've drummed with, talking with Kenny Aronoff here, has worked with hundreds of artists.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that you haven't played with that you'd like to? Is there somebody?
Sadly, it would have been Prince is one of them.
Really?
I would love to. And I've played with Sting, but I'd love to tour with Sting because he's an absolutely stunning musician. Both those guys are examples of heavy, heavy, heavy musicians, a class of their own. So maybe I'll be tour with Sting. Prince, sadly, I won't be touring with him. You know, Hendrix, I would have loved to have toured with. You know.
Did you ever think about touring with Rush?
I never thought about that. I've had some great hangs with Neil Peart, but did you hear a rumor that the what's her name from the White Stripes was going to tour with them?
Oh, that can't be.
That can't be.
That can't be.
That can't be.
And then Axl Rose is going to sing.
Get
out of here.
Get out of here. That's a rumor. I'm singing with Rush. That's possible.
You, sir, have the background similar to myself where people come and say, you should write a book. Now, what they want me to write a book about isn't anywhere near as personal as what you've gotten into. And the name of the new book you have coming out is Sex, Drums, and Rock and Roll. The
hardest hitting man in showbiz. The book is about being a workaholic, you know, because I couldn't use
You couldn't use that in the title.
hardest working drummer. That's James Brown's
Oh, that's
thing.
true. Yeah, that's true.
He's the hardest working drummer. No, well, not drummer, but hardest working musician.
So you started out, and I've known you for a long time. The book has to be down to like, what, 200, 300 pages?
300 is the magic number.
So you wrote 900?
600.
600 pages.
Well, you know what? I mean, I didn't, listen, I now know why people don't write books. It's really difficult. It's not just writing it. They want to know the truth. I can't say every one of my 3 million girls I had sex with. Matter of fact, the beginning says, if you're looking for a book about a drummer who has sex with 4,000 women, this ain't the one. Wink, wink. And if you're looking for, you know, the girls that dress in nurse outfits with, you know, mounds of cocaine, this ain't the one.
Mm-hmm.
This is about me getting turned on by getting a phone call from, you know, Rod Stewart or Santana or the Pumpkins to record or go on tour. And, you know, I'm a workaholic. And that's why the book is obnoxious. It's like, then I did this, and then I did this, and then I did this. And they wanted me to tell funny stories, but, I mean, I couldn't think of anything really funny. You know?
You get a call to Todd Zuckerman from Styx, another one of the great, and he had a child or something, and he needed somebody to fill
in. I stepped in.
How was that filling in for somebody who drums like that?
It was great, man. I mean, the thing that's challenging is I have one rehearsal, it's sound check. But I write every single note that Todd played out on paper. I write everything down. I write the cues, the tempos, everything written out. And so really when you hire me to do it, so I did Goo Goo Dolls the same year. One rehearsal and that's it. And it saves them money in the end.
Well, it saves them money.
And it keeps them on the road. That's the other thing.
That's the other thing. The book is Sex, Drums, and Rock and Roll.
The hardest hitting man in showbiz.
It's coming
out
in the fall. In the fall. Will you come back so we can talk about the stories
definitely.
in the book?
I can talk about the sex part, the drums part.
I thought the nurse's uniform would be.
Well, I can talk about
you in a nurse's uniform doesn't make sense.
Well,
ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Aronoff. Thank you so much for being.
I'll explain how it makes sense.
Hey, I know that you, yes you, haven't been in the Uncle Joe's Garage yet, but I got some good news. We have created a mobile version of the Uncle Joe's Garage, thanks to our friends at Mike Thompson RV Superstores. Like they say, don't miss a moment, and don't miss the mobile Uncle Joe's Garage coming to location near you.